Okay, let's jump right in. We've got this interesting note here. It's from a series called Notes on Fishkeeping, Part 111.
Right.
And it shares this personal observation, something that, well, sounds a bit unlikely at first glance.
Yeah, definitely raises an eyebrow.
The core question is, can cichlids and guppies actually live together peacefully?
Mm-hmm. You hear those two names together, Cichlids and Guppies, and if you know fish, you probably think, uh-oh.
Exactly. But this note, it kind of suggests it might not be a straight no.
So our mission here is to dig into this specific observation, right? See what the author's actual experience tells us about their compatibility.
Precisely. Using their notes as our guide for this deep dive.
Okay.
So what's really fascinating is what the author first saw. They noted in this outdoor sort of pond setup they had.
An outdoor setup. Interesting.
Yeah, that for a period, the guppies were doing fine, actually thriving, even breeding alongside the cichlids.
Wow. Okay, so temporary coexistence was actually happening.
It was, yeah, which definitely challenges that immediate gut reaction that they just can't mix, period.
That is surprising. But I'm guessing there's a but coming. The notes must go on.
There is. The note describes this, like, critical turning point.
Yeah.
The author observed what happened when things changed.
Okay, what kind of change?
Specifically, when the usual food source, the fish pellets they were using, when those ran out.
Food scarcity. That often changes the dynamic, doesn't it? Really shows how environment impacts everything.
Totally. And according to these notes, when those pellets disappeared, the cichlids, well, they didn't waste any time.
Let me guess. They turned to the guppies.
Bingo. They readily started preying on the guppies as, an alternative food source.
Right. Makes sense from the cichlid's perspective, unfortunately for the guppies.
And the author actually saw it happen. There's this specific anecdote in the notes about witnessing a Jewel Cichlid grab and eat a guppy swimming near the surface.
Wow, okay, so direct observation, not just guessing.
Exactly. That specific moment, described in the note, it really drives home the reality. It wasn't theoretical anymore. It was observed predation triggered by that environmental shift.
So based on that whole experience,
Yeah.
what was the final takeaway in the note?
Pretty clear cut, actually. Despite seeing them live together for a bit, the conclusion drawn was that generally, cichlids and guppies are not good tank mates, not for the long haul.
Yeah, that sounds about right, based on that predation story. The reasons given probably boil down to the basics.
They do. It highlights the big size difference, obviously. A mature cichlid versus a little guppy.
Huge difference, yeah.
And crucially, the cichlid's natural predatory diet. When their main food vanished, the guppies just became the next available meal.
It's their instinct, really.
Yeah.
Opportunistic feeders.
Now, the author did toss in one potential mitigating factor. Maybe.
Oh, what was that?
They speculated that if you had, like, tons of floating aquatic plants.
Cover, hiding places.
Exactly. They might offer the guppies enough shelter to potentially, reduce the chances of being eaten.
Possibly. It could help, giving them somewhere to escape. But it sounds like a big if.
It does, because the main point from this whole observation was pretty stark. Take away those hiding spots or let the food run low.
And that predatory nature comes right out.
Right. It showed that even if they can seem fine together for a while, it's like a fragile truce. It depends entirely on keeping those conditions just right.
So why does this one specific observation matter so much for you listening?
Well, I think it's a fantastic illustration that compatibility isn't just about checking species names off a list, right?
Definitely not. It's way more complex.
It's heavily, heavily influenced by the environment you actually create. Things like food availability, yes, but also the physical structure, hiding spots, barriers, that sort of thing.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Animal behavior, even really fundamental stuff like predator-prey interactions, it can shift dramatically when conditions change or when there's stress.
It really shows the environment isn't just like the background scenery.
No, it actively shapes, even dictates those relationships between species.
So, wrapping up this deep dive then, the key finding from these notes is pretty clear. Cichlids and guppies. Yeah, maybe they can coexist for a bit under ideal conditions.
But that underlying predatory dynamic, it's there. And it surfaces quick when food gets scarce or there's nowhere safe for the guppies to hide.
Exactly. So maybe the thought to leave you with, based on this note, is just how critical those environmental conditions, food, shelter, really are.
Yeah, think about it. They aren't just for comfort. They fundamentally shape whether different species can interact peacefully or if conflict is maybe inevitable.